Hello YouTube community. Been watching videos and stuff on YouTube, home studio tours for a few years now, so I thought I'd upload one of my own. Never done it before, so let's see how it goes. Right, a nice little Yamaha 12 channel mixer there. It's donated by a friend of mine who never used it, funny enough. It's got a few effects. There's a few videos online about it, but I find it alright. I'll use it literally just to plug and play, really. Just plug into that if I want to quickly get a quick mix in the room without turning the computer and everything on. I'll use that mixer there, so it does the job. Come over now to my first mixer, which was my Peavey mixer. I bought it because it was USB, really. It was my first interface when I started recording. It does, again, it wasn't massive money, it's not top end, it just does its job. It sits there, it ticks over alright. Sometimes the old gain knobs get a little bit noisy, but once you settle it all down, it's alright, does the job. Needed a few more inputs when I started recording drums and stuff, so I went over to M-Audio 8, which has got 8 inputs. That then, the outs from that goes straight into that desk, so I can get a mix in the room, and obviously my monitor mix. Got a little Yamaha compressor there. Don't really know a lot about it, to be fair. Bought it in a second-hand shop. They say with compressors less is more, so I don't really drive it that much, to be fair. Right, underneath it we've got right, this amp was bought to power my headphones. It sounds a bit mad that I've got a 80-watt amp to power headphones, but headphone amps are massively expensive and normally can only run 2 sets of headphones. So a friend of mine had set up a few headphone amps before. He said make your own, so we bought a few bits off of eBay. This headphone splitter here, all the monitor mixes go into that. We don't drive it very hard, but we can run 10-12 sets of headphones if we wanted to. Not that we do, but we can, and most headphone amps can only run 2, so made sense to make our own. I think we knocked it up for about 30 quid. So I would recommend that to anyone, really. Right, come over to my sort of main desk now. MacBook Pro. Was one of them refigured ones on second hand on eBay. I don't know how much RAM and memory's in it, to be fair. I'm not really a techie guy. I let my friend deal with all that. Just another monitor up there, which is just a TV, really. I run Logic Pro, Superior Drummer, a couple of Rocket 5s there. I've got some Rocket 8s, but I used to mix on them, but found them a bit too bass heavy, so went over to the Rocket 5s. A couple of Shaky Eggs, obviously. Come down here to my leads and stuff. It's all a bit of a mess, but it's a studio. You've got to have a few leads in a studio. Right, did used to run a couple of guitar amps, but now unless you drive them really hard and you've got them mic'd perfectly, you're never going to get a perfect sound for recording. So I've cheated a bit, really. I've got one of these Digitech guitar pedals. It's got all the amp simulations on there, it's got all the cabinets, it's got all the pedals, distortion pedals, wah pedal, it's got everything basically. You can select your own, or there's loads of presets. It all integrates with the computer. It's got its own audio interface, so you can use it direct into the computer, so you can do away with all the leads and stuff. Nice and clean, recording, so perfect for home recording. Couple of other pedals there, loop pedal and stuff, Boss bass pedals, couple of an envelope filter for bass there, Crybaby wah. got a screen there that I found in one of my customers' houses that I weren't using, and they said I could have it. I'll use that for, you know, sometimes screening off a few vocals or whatever. Right, this thing here, acoustic diffuser. You can print the information off online, spend half the day in the garden knocking it up, gluing bits of wood to a flat bit of ply, and then bolting it. I'd recommend that to anyone. You know, for the time it takes you to, it saves you hours in the mix, hours and hours, for how long it takes you to put it together. It looks quite technical, but once you get into it, it's a grid pattern that you just glue, you know, you size all your bits of timber, and then you basically just glue it to a bit of wood. That's it. You know, all the information's online for you to download, but definitely will save you hours and hours and hours in the mix. So, right, while we're talking about acoustics, this stuff is all made at home, affordably really. Metal stud work with acoustic bats, not acoustic bats, cavity bats really. Well, it is acoustics, they do the same job really. It's cavity bats, which is insulation just stuffed inside them. You know, this stuff is tram, what they call stuff that goes under the ground really, to stop all the weeds and stuff coming up. You know, I think I got a big roll of it for about 12 quid. I think altogether I spent about 40 quid on my acoustic treatment, and again will make a massive difference to the sound of your room and can be done really affordably. So I'd recommend that to anyone. Come around to the main room really. Roland TD12, found that on eBay. Fantastic bit of kit, got some lovely sounds. Like I say, I'm running Superior Drummer as well, so I trigger Superior Drummer with it, but the sounds within the module are really nice for recording. You know, I never used to have acoustic drums, just all electronic. You know, when I first started, great practicing tool. You can play till 4 o'clock in the morning. Your volume in the room can be whatever you want it to be. I've just got, don't use it a lot, but there's a sound bar there, just so if you want to monitor it without the main PA on, you can. But to be honest with you, you won't beat the sound of headphones on a electronic kit anyway. You know, if you're going to listen to it on anything, you really want to be in headphones. So little, you know, bongos and stuff, found them again on eBay. Another mixer here. This is so the drummers have got their own monitor mix really. Drummers need their own monitor mix really, so I've got another little mixer set up here just for the drums really. Got Mapex Mars Pro kit there. You know, again, you can't, in a room this size, it's very hard to keep the volume under control, but we do, and you just got to play them very gently. Really, it needs to be in a bigger room, but I ain't got a bigger room, so we manage. Just an assortment of mics really around the drums. They don't really, I've got SM57s and SM58s. I've got a couple of Tascam overhead condensing mics there. That's a Sennheiser mic there. I've got my Rocket 8s this side of the studio. Got guitars up on the wall there. Range of guitars really, you know, just squirrel Fenders. Can't really afford the real thing, so but they sound alright. Vintage acoustic, which is really nice. I've had that for years. Roland, this is just a MIDI keyboard really. It's a lovely piano. It's been lent to the studio for a while. A88 I think it is. Beautiful action, very big. takes up a lot of room, but lovely to play. I've got a Yamaha synth there. That's an old vintage one. I found that in a second-hand shop. It's a CS1, I think it is. It was used on quite. It's been used on quite a few albums, Prodigy albums and stuff. Got my bass guitars there. So I'm a bass player. Well, drums and bass. So there you go. That's my studio tour. Thank you.